RWBY Chibi. If you've seen my channel before, you might have heard me express my thoughts on RWBY Chibi a couple of times.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Well, that wasn't really fair of me. See, I only actually had watched the first, 7 episodes of the show before I gave up on it. So I figured this time I'll really give it the old college try. I sat down, watched all the episodes, and I still don't like it. I'm sorry, it's just really not for me. It's honestly insane to me how popular RWBY Chibi is, because I really just don't get it. And I think the thing I don't like about the show is really the whole premise just falls flat for me. RWBY Chibi is supposed to be a cute, funny, skit comedy-like spin-off series of the kids' time still at Beacon. Each episode is only about 5 minutes long, if even, usually composed of 2 or more skits, which are short little jokes between the characters. And every detail about the show just misses its mark for me. 1. The comedy. I don't find it funny. Now, comedy is one of the most subjective forms of entertainment there is. There's no secret trickety trick in order to make everyone laugh, and everyone will find different things funny. I just personally don't find RWBY Chibi to be funny. At all. In any way whatsoever. And it's not like I didn't give it a chance or anything. My taste in comedy is pretty broad. I laugh at both Bert Kreischer and Mark Maron. I like the dry adult wit from Doom Patrol just as much as I like the wacky, over-the-top slapstick from Teen Titans Go. But something about RWBY Chibi just wasn't funny to me. Maybe it's just too slow, maybe the punchlines were just way too easy to predict. A lot of the comedy seems to just come from a character yells as the punchline, and that never really lands for me. 2. It's not cute. In fact, I think RWBY Chibi is actually kind of ugly. The gigantic bobbleheads just look stupid to me, and their expressions are too big and wide to really feel cute. The only cute thing in the show is Y, which, good job I guess. They took the disgusting, ugly tube goblin and made it look actually pretty cute. I'll give them that. And 3. Adventures at Beacon. I am so tired of Beacon. Seriously, I am so tired of seeing Beacon again. Oh my god. Oh, but don't you miss Beacon? Weren't those days fun? No, I'm bored of it. I'm tired of seeing it. All of the supplemental material for RWBY goes back to Beacon. The DC comics, all of the mangas. I'm just sick of trudging through Beacon over and over again. I want to see what happens at Haven, Adventures from Atlas, points where the characters have developed beyond their kind of boring lives at Beacon. It would definitely help add some new comedic opportunities for RWBY Chibi too. Half of Ren and Nora's jokes are just, wah wah, Nora likes Ren, will he ever find out? And I'm just sitting here thinking about their very powerful conversation from volume 8. Oh, I wonder if Jean will ever date Pyrrha. Will he ever notice her feelings for him? Well, it's hard for me to find this joke funny when I know what happens to her later. There's also a bunch of post-Beacon characters who can never be introduced into RWBY Chibi since we're forced to be stuck in Beacon Purgatory. Maria, Oscar, all of Salem's Council. Nope. Hell, even while we're at Beacon, we're not even utilizing all the characters we could. Sage and Scarlet. Yeah, that's right. I'm still waiting for you two to ever be relevant. But I suppose I should talk about some specific episodes or something for the show. There's not a narrative or anything to follow. It really is just one-off little gags and stuff. Some ideas or gags do continually pop up, like the idea that Sun and Neptune are junior detectives, or Jean's super persona, Huntsman. While I definitely had my own thoughts while watching the show, I also reached out on Twitter and asked for people's favorite episodes or skits. So let's take a closer look at the actual show itself to see what we've got going on here. First, Kaito Dan suggests the first skit of the series. Hi Dan! Honestly, this is the skit to watch if you're curious if the show is going to be up your alley or not. It's a pretty good example about what the limitations of the animation will be and the kinds of humor and pacing the rest of the show will end up having.
Now Now that's a katana.
Was that funny? Did you all laugh? Was that good enough to be the catchphrase? Was it funny? Did you laugh? Aura2441 suggested,
This is filth! Filth!
something I think a lot of people like RWBY Chibi for is how memeable it is. It is easy to just make a GIF out of like every single episode. Episode 5 has a skit that I think perfectly encompasses one of my biggest issues with the jokes. They're just so predictable. Hey, remember those Volume 1 shadow people? What if the girls commented on how they look like shadow people? What's that? Punchline? Nah, we don't need one of those. Just have Shadow RWBY be there and wave. Just, like, I don't get it. How is this supposed to be funny? There's no punchline. There's no joke. Episode 8 did give us the unholy Pyrrha screaming face, which is pretty great. Basically, throughout the episode, Pyrrha keeps messing things up with her magnetism.
Ren found this old stack of VHS tapes. You want to help us sort through them and see what's on them?
Are kids even gonna get that joke? I'm 26 and I barely get that joke. Here, magnets fuck up VHSs. Ha 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 ha, what a good joke.
You made me do this!
Like, seriously, how is this funny? This is just annoying. This is definitely the worst joke in the whole show.
Be gone, fuck!
Howdy Howdy 18 and Aiden Snow both suggested the bit where Pyrrha is alive and well, and Nora insists we all just roll with it.
Pyrrha is fine. Nothing bad ever happened.
So this is the moment that got me thinking about another thing people seem to really like RWBY Chibi for. The fact that, yeah, since we're still in Beacon, we can keep having adventures with Pyrrha. Not only that, but we can have all kinds of adventures with everyone, and it's something that RWBY proper has been unfortunately lacking in. In RWBY Chibi, Nora has had plenty of conversations with Team RWBY. In the real show, I can think of like maybe 2 or 3 times. In RWBY Chibi, Jean and Ren hang out with Sun and Neptune all the time. Their dynamic is actually one of the most iconic things from the show. In RWBY proper, I don't think they've actually ever had a conversation with each other, especially not Ren. Even our main characters who do get to talk in the show proper get more fleshing out with RWBY Chibi. And it's really a shame because there really is no reason why it's limited to only this spin-off series. Because this is all non-canon. In universe, RWBY Chibi is not canon, so this is development that ultimately never actually happened, and that sucks. I might not find it funny, but at the very least, I can understand how seeing these characters actually interacting with each other like real people is fun. The worst thing is, I can think of plenty of times the show proper could have had the characters talking and doing interesting things with each other, even past their time in Beacon. All that time, they were just sitting around that house in Volume 5. They could have been having adventures. When they were doing all those weird odd jobs for Ironwood in Volume 7, throw in some fun conversations there. I don't understand why this sort of natural character dialogue is only limited to a supplemental side story that isn't even canon. Yeah, Pyrrha and RWBY Chibi got to do stuff with the girls, but that doesn't change the fact that our real Pyrrha never did. So a lot of people suggested skits or episodes from season 1, which amazed me because in my opinion it was definitely the worst. The animation is super slow and still a little janky, and the jokes were some of their worsts here. Also the colors on everything is like weirdly washed out in season 1. Definitely the episode I got the most requests for. Rydia Farron 1, Von Lichberg, Canary Leaf, Lolith, Meki Rojas, Sono Comics, and Vote Me for DC 2045 all suggested the episode with the skit Cinder Who, which I'm not surprised the most people found this to be the funniest, because Rooster Teeth didn't write it.
No! My nefarious plans! Oh, no!
Yeah, this whole episode's skits are taken from fan-favorite comics, without them knowing about it, it seems like. On one hand, I feel like it would be like, oh wow, that's so cool, Rooster Teeth liked my comic so much they used it in RWBY Chibi, wow! But on the other hand, it's like, oh, so Rooster Teeth gets to put ads on this episode and monetize off of my work, and all I got was a quick name drop in the credits. not even with my internet handle where most people would be able to look up my original comic, and there's no links or anything to it in the description on the episode, both on the website and on YouTube. Well, that sounds kinda shitty. That just kinda sounds like you're stealing my work. If you like this skit, good. Please direct your attention to one of my absolute favorite RWBY comic creators, Jumpin' Jammies on DeviantArt. They have a bunch more incredibly funny comics. I love their work. There's a link in the description that leads right to the comic that Rooster Teeth ripped off. I mean, was inspired by. Both Moon Pancakes and Ex Namiro suggested the skit where Ren teaches the rest of Juniper their synchronized dance from Volume 2.
Where do you think you're going?
Anywhere but here!
Oh, no, you don't. You and I have a fitting to go to after this.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
I don't know, I don't find it very funny, but I do like seeing Juniper getting to all talk to each other. If you're a Ren fan, you should definitely watch RWBY Chibi, because he gets to be way more of a character here. I Am Tom Horan suggested the Kitten Killer 9000, which I think, out of context, this comment is a lot funnier than the actual episode. Season 1's finale has an episode with a laugh track, and it's just as bad and cringe as you'd expect.
I think you're going to say...
No. Swing and a miss.
Thanks, I hate it.
Oh no, the only thing worse than puns.
Really? Dad jokes? RWBY Chibi is going to make fun of dad jokes. You know you guys made a VHS joke earlier, right?
Today, we're learning about booby traps.
Ha, she said trap. Booby traps. You said traps.
So Sun and Neptune are commonly our main characters during a bunch of these skits, and they bring back the junior detectives shtick regularly. Honestly, overplayed. Yeah, I think they over-rely on the junior detectives bit way too often when it comes to Sun and Neptune. And more often than not, I don't find their junior detective things to be entertaining at all. Two people also suggested the Nora Caffeine Dimension tripping episodes, Excalibur 2343, and the V-Table. The first one is in Season 1, and Nora drinks so much coffee we zoom out and get to see her actual voice actress, Samantha Ireland, recording lines. I'll admit, it's cute going meta with it. Well, in Season 2, they had a follow-up episode that was sort of a post-season special. This time... Oh...
Just wanted to make sure our high-quality merchandise was still safe.
Is this episode just one big ad? Really? Really? I thought putting a sponsorship shout-out in the middle of an RTAA was a bad idea, but this? This is a new low. Yeah, take one of your most fan-loved shows and turn it into a literal commercial for your own merch. Great idea, RT. Also, what did Barbara say?
Our high-quality merchandise...
High quality? Even the figures they use for this skit isn't high quality. The paint's all bubbled up on Nora's hair and head, and the RWBY figure has this gigantic black smudge right in the middle of her face.
Wow! I'll bet they're affordable as well.
Oh, you know it.
Maya's Tara Parker suggested Season 3, Episode 2, which brings back Carden.
My name? It's Carden, not... Karen's fine. Let's go with Karen.
Yeah, Carden! This is not a joke. I actually wish we got way more Carden back during volumes 1 through 3. For the same episode, Hosh22 suggested the follow-up skit. Ruby and Yang help Tai set up an online dating profile, and he ends up getting matched with Cinder. Which, according to the RWBY ship chart, that ship is called Sunburn. Meh, 6 out of 10. Sounds like that could also be for Yang x Cinder.
Doing what wrong?
Wait, nothing! Where'd you go from? Go back to there.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
You know, honestly, I think more Tai in the show would be a lot of fun too. Donatelia M suggested the skit where Mercury introduces his sock puppet of Cinder while talking shit about the other villains.
Cinder puppet? I've always known.
Salem's got other plans for me. I'm not gonna be taking orders from you anymore.
Oh lord, the plot thickens! Kirby Cat 6 suggested episode 8, where Ruby and Penny hang out with fireflies. And you know what? It is an honestly cute little episode. And it might just be because we're hot off the heels of Volume 8, where things happened, but I honestly really wish we got to see more of Ruby and Penny being friends like this. And while I might lament the fact we didn't get to see it a lot in the show itself, at least I can get a glimpse of it here. Finally, a bunch of people suggested the last episode for RWBY Chibi Season 3, RWBY Dreams. One specific dream in particular, a strange lover, Tiger Lone W, and Katehara's BFF. Now, the dream episodes at the end of the season were really nothing spectacular. For taking place in their dreams, they really played it safe. I would have gone much more crazy when it came to the characters' dreamscapes. Oh well. The last one we see, however, is Ruby, where she's running around before bumping into...
Oh my gosh, you're adorable!
It's pretty zany, seeing Volume 1 era Ruby modeled and running around in the Maya engine. You can really see the details in her hair and her dress a lot better here.
Get me!
And that's RWBY Chibi. What's that I hear you say? That's not the end? Why, in fact, Season 4 was recently announced and is currently airing. Kelly Whitfield even suggests an episode from that 4th season. Well, unfortunately, that 4th season will have to wait for another time. After all, it's technically airing alongside Rooster Teeth's Neon Konbini, and I think I'm gonna want to talk about that at some other point in time. Now, to end off my RWBY Chibi review, I guess that's what this is. It's not much of a review though, more like just a collection of my own opinions and thoughts. I wanted to name off the various things that I actually found to be the most funny parts of the whole show. First, this cut-in bit between skits of Jean faceplanting. I don't know, it's just real good timing on that landing.
Now, the wolf needed only to draw Little Red closer.
Hey, come closer.
Yes! I'm so edgy and cool.
Okay, pause. Look at those eyes! The eyes of an angel over there. What, is this more of what I can expect from Rooster Teeth's quality merchandise?
I'm so edgy and cool.
I don't know why, but the fact that Neo is the vocalist for the Villains' band just makes me smile.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait!
And finally...
Okay, fine. Go team. Can I leave now?
RWBY Chibi is just not for me. But now at least I can say I actually watched it all the way through. If anything I showed today seemed fun or entertaining for you, then check it out. I just personally couldn't get into it. The animation starts off really shitty and kinda choppy, but it does start playing around with its stretchiness and bendiness after a while. I couldn't recommend it for its humor, but if you desperately wanted to see way more adventures of our heroes hanging out in Beacon, free of plot, if you ever wanted to see some of the minor characters like Oobleck, Cardin, or Neptune get more screen time, or if you ever wanted to see any of the characters having an actual conversation with the people they claim to be friends with, well, then the show might just be for you. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to my $10 patrons. You're all amazing. Nako, James Dodds, Cool Duck, Andrew, Ramiel, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, G Extreme, Classy Critic, Surge, Boulder Off Bros, Noah Perkins, Sunny Shy, Great Bar, Caleb Grimm, Pentamenta, Genital War Thunder, Carmen, Order, Vortex, Jake, Soren, Amber, Lolith, and Livid Aries. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. I didn't want to be too mean because I know a lot of people like RWBY Chibi, but I also wanted to be honest. And I just don't like RWBY Chibi. I gave it my best. I really gave it my all. I just couldn't get into it. If you like RWBY Chibi, congratulations. I'm glad you can like it. Tell me in the comments what your favorite episode is, and also, like I said, go to Jumpin' Jammies, because if your favorite episode is that Cinder Who skit, you deserve to give all your love to Jumpin' Jammies, because they thought of the whole thing first, and I love their work so much. So yeah, any and all thoughts and opinions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.